Good morning, it is Jane with Scraptastic Yarns, and have quite a few things today. First off, what I will show you here is some of the things I was doing this week. It was real important to find that shelf because Jane needed the shelf. And it had become this conglomerate of just catching things. So here is that video of what it looked like before and then after. I think you can see how messy this bookshelf is. This is the bookshelf that I am attempting to tackle. And it is mostly beading things, beading supplies, extra little baggies for things, and I need to get it all sorted out because I need some space for some book and some crochet magazines, and that is what I will be doing today. See you again soon. All right, I got a couple of items today that I need to open up, some happy mail, and let me find my skizzas. Sorry about that. Alright, the first thing I'm going to open up is June's Knitcrate. Or actually, it's the Sockcrate. I didn't get the Knitcrate because it had alpaca in it. And being allergic to alpaca, I'm no longer willing to get that. There's what's in there. Let's pull it out. And today's book is Mirage. That is the inspiration for it. And there are the colors of the Vitellana that has the 50% alpaca, Peruvian Highland Merino wool, and the Surrey alpaca. And then here is the Happy Little Sock, the Knitology, and yeah, it's rather interesting. These are the patterns that came for the knit and the crochet, and then the sock patterns. Now next month's theme is called Weekend. Now I will tell you I have not continued the Sockcrate. I have canceled my Sockcrate. There are a lot of reasons. We'll go into those later. But this is Knitology's Happy Little Sock. It is 70% superwash merino, 20% tinsel, and 10% nylon. It is a fingering weight, has 400 yards. They recommend a size 1 to 3 knitting needle and a size B to E crochet hook. And this is in the color Every Tree Needs a Friend. And it's a beautiful kind of goldish brown tone. That is probably not what I would have wanted. Probably would have wanted either the blue or whatever. And there's no extra. Nothing. Bag is empty. So I'm a little disappointed that there was no extra, but hey, whatever. I'm done with the Sockcrate. Part of the reason I determined, oh, wait a minute, there was an extra. It fell out earlier. It is a Sip 1, Stitch 1, Repeat cork coaster. Whatever. I do not know if I am going to continue keeping the regular Knitcrate because I keep using the alpaca, and I'm not real happy about the alpaca. Just because I can't use it. And what are you going to do? Just keep going on. I think I have pretty much decided that I'm through with Knitcrate, but I did decide to go ahead and just keep that open in case something came along and I wanted to purchase it. Otherwise, I will just keep skipping. Now, I did get some happy mail, and this came from Teri at Nana's Crochet Ideas. Thank you, Teri. And I'm wondering if this is for the Prayer Shawl Ministry. There's a card. What a beautiful card. Jane, you need baby yarn. Here you go. I've been sitting on this for a while, not sure what to do with it. Blessings, Teri. Thank you, Teri. Let me tell you, those ladies are going to absolutely love this because it's not the typical white, pink kind of thing. It is Baby Sparkle Hirschner's Pompadour. And look at that color. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my goodness. And it says the name of this is Sun and Clouds. And there are let me get them out because they're all a little mixed up. There are 4, I believe. 4 of these with the sparkle. And yes, they are going to absolutely love these. I know the person that's probably going to go, "Oh, Jane, can I have it?" And then the other one is Baby Yarn Solids. And this is also in the color Sun and Clouds. And just as gorgeous, even without the sparkle. And there are 4 of those. So Teri, thank you so much for that yarn. The ladies are going to love it. We might do, I'll tell you, we do some things every once in a while with the ladies where we do surprise little mystery bags. And generally with those surprise mystery bags, we'll put yarn in the bag, and generally it is in one of the gray Walmart bags, so you can't really see what the yarn is. And then we always do this lovely little thing where they choose numbers, and it doesn't matter what number they get because they're going to get a bag anyway. But it's just a little fun that we do every once in a while. We try to shake things up for the ladies at the Prayer Shawl Ministry so that they are having fun while they're doing their job. So, but I'm pretty sure Teri didn't expect me to share these with those ladies because that ain't gonna happen. She also sent a couple of treats. She sent Keto Farms Maple Candied Pecans. I love pecans, and I know there's a controversy about whether it's pecans or pecans, but I can tell you as a teenager who worked in the Mountain Grove's pecan orchard, they call it pecans in New Mexico. You southern people, I don't know where you get pecan from, but that's okay. She also sent keto cookie bites in a dark chocolate flavor, and I'm looking forward to trying these out. It's called Double Dark Chocolate Chip, and this is Keto Cookie Bites. And I don't think I've ever seen Keto Cookie Bites before. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I really have no finished objects, but I have a lot of WIPS. I went out and I pulled as many WIPS as I could find. because they are things that have been unloved, unfinished, and needed to be finished. So I grabbed my WIPS, and the first one that I grabbed was the crochet along that I had started way back in the end of 2019, first part of 2020, and then COVID hit and we went kaboom. And I had gotten up to the part where I started the neckline and added the sleeves, which was right here where this stitch marker is. I went ahead and finished the first panel. This is the front, and I started the second panel. This is one of those that I was trying to determine whether to go ahead and finish filming the crochet along or just finish the item and get the pattern written up and put out there. And I think I've decided I'm just going to finish it up and get the pattern. So I've been giving these guys a little love every day. Trying to get 1 or 2 rows on each of them. I have determined that what I will be doing in the future, though, is changing those up to where I am actually working on half of them, like Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, the other half Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays, and then Sunday would be a fun day for whatever. Now, I did purchase from Pamela's Adoring Crochet her newest pattern, which is the Silver Cloud Crochet Cardigan. And I decided to use some of that cotton cream that I got at Michael's. So I am using this lovely little color here, and I just started the other day the back panel, so not gotten very far, but I have gone through one rotation of the pattern in itself. And I will tell you, what I do there is, I know there are row repeats, so I just staple a postcard to it, and then I'll just check off my rows as I go. Then when I get to the front panels, I'll draw a line, and go from there. And it's an easy way when you don't have row counters. And I'll tell you, I have row counters, and sometimes I put them down, forget to put them in the bag that they were with. Like, that never happens, right, guys? So, yeah. So the little index card works great for me. Now, the other thing that I started was, we're still doing the red, white, and blue Afghans. So I have started another one in the Jagged stitch. Now, I love this stitch. It's very easy. You do 1 row with the Jagged stitch, then the second row, which is what I'm on here, is just double crochet all the way through. Now, I did determine that I was using a bigger hook, so I am using that J hook that I purchased from Furls, and that's what I'm using with this project. The Jagged stitch, Melodora's Crochet, I believe, is the one that has a pattern for the Jagged stitch. She has the blanket that she did on her website, and I think she just recently came out with a hat pattern using that same Jagged stitch. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. Now we have the knit along. And I had started the knit along, and this is one of the sides that I've started with it. It's just a plain stockinette stitch, nothing spectacular. And then I'd started the second panel, and I'm working on those a little bit. I'll do 4 rows on one, 4 rows on the other, and then switch off to another project. Yeah. I have determined it is time to get these puppies done and out of my queue. I have quite a few things I would like to start, and I just have not had the opportunity to do that. Now this next one is the one I showed you a couple of months ago, and it is the knit chevron stitch. This is the one I could not find the pattern to that I had used. A lot of the patterns that I've seen on YouTube and everywhere else do a 12 to 14 stitch, and this is basically a 10 to 12 stitch. Now this pattern comes from, what I did was following Knitcrate's Knitting. I believe that's the name of the person that did the video. I followed that pattern, which is actually a pattern at Yarnspirations. It is Catch Some Waves Knit Blanket at Yarnspirations. And the person's name is Knitcrate's Knits on YouTube. And this is the pattern that I was using, following her method, because she actually starts out with garter stitch rows and doesn't do the garter stitch stitches on each side of the blanket, and that's just what I chose to do. So yeah, I finally found the pattern. Don't ask me how, I don't know. But when you're determined, you can find lots of things, right? And then we have the inside out. This is one of the panels that I need to work on. And this is using the extended single stitch. And I'm using an H hook with this one. Have one panel done. And need to go and do 3 more, I believe. Yeah, there's a lot. I'm going to get these other bags out of here. Yeah, there's a few. Just a few. And of course, the Tunisian blanket, the bias stitch that I was doing by, the pattern is actually by Tony of TLC Crafts, TL Yarn Crafts. And this is done in that beautiful, I believe it's dogwood print, Karen 1-pounders. Well, they're not really a 1-pounder when you get variegated yarns, but you know, you get the idea. So there is that. I'm working on that as well each day. And some of you may be asking, what is this all about, Jane? Well, it's all about having projects all around me and not ever finishing one of those. You know, I always tease that I have craft ADD. And seriously, folks, I do have craft ADD. Now, this is the project that I work on when I go to concerts on Sunday. And this is another washcloth done in the Suzette stitch in a Yarn Bee Little Dollop in Apple Essence. Good catch. Apple Essence. So I have that I am working on. And then, oh my goodness, folks, another washcloth in the Paris in whatever it is. I ran out of yarn. So hopefully I'll be able to get another skein of that. Hopefully Hobby Lobby has not discontinued that. So there is that. Then, and this is the one that I knit probably about 2 to 3 rows and then put away. It is the Rose of Lavender shawl, and this is one of the Knitcrates that I had gotten, and it is the Vita Lana, and this one has alpaca in it. But I did get that beautiful lavender, so I am working on that. I can work on this for a little bit, and then my hands start hurting and itching. When I use the cotton gloves to crochet with this, I'm able to knit a little longer. But it's kind of hot during the summer, so I tend to put that away for a little bit. But yeah, I have determined I need to get some things finished, and that's where we're at. There is one more item, and that is this item that is here. This is the Adalia shawl by Expression Fibers Art, and I am using my Euro yarn in the sugared sport, and I've got this much done. I think this is through row 18 maybe, but I am using these two colors together. I am thinking about adding a third color, but I'm not positive. And I am using a number 7 crochet hook, which is 4.5 millimeters. In some circles, that is called a G+, because you know G is 4 millimeters. But the colors are ruby and diamond in the Euro sock. And this is 70% merino, 20% nylon, 10% stellina. It is a sport weight yarn, and I have that in the Cheryl Bolts bag that I won from Dina's Homespun Fun with the chickens on it. So those are the projects that I've been working on, because you know, life's too short, all that fun stuff, and I need to get it finished up. That is it for this portion, and I believe we are ready for what in tarnation. Now, I've raised up my seat. Unlike Jennifer, I have one of those seats that slowly creeps down. I do need to get that repaired, just haven't done it yet. You know, I have a lot of things to do. And of course, you know, the water pump on our car is leaking, so that's a nice big fun that's going to have to be taken care of before I can do anything else. All right. Truck crash covers New York City expressway in Peppers. An early morning crash on a New York City expressway caused traffic to be restricted to one lane because the roadway was covered in peppers. Authorities said the tractor-trailer was traveling eastbound on the Brooklyn side of the Brooklyn-Queens Expressway Monday morning when it overturned, spilling a mass of peppers onto the roadway at exit 30 to Flushing Avenue. The expressway was reduced to one lane of traffic while crews worked to clear the vegetables from the road. There were no injuries reported from that crash. And there is video. So it's rather interesting to see all those peppers all over the road. Now this next story is a very interesting man who's doing this. An unusual cylindrical vessel washes up with runner on Florida beach. Sheriff's deputies were called to investigate an unusual object on a Florida beach, who discovered the item was a floating cylinder being used by a man attempting to run to Bermuda. The Flagler County Sheriff's Office tweeted photos showing the cylindrical object on a beach in the hammock area. We are happy to announce that the occupant of the vessel is safe with no injuries, the Sheriff's Office tweeted. Reza Baluchi, the occupant of the unusual aquatic vehicle, said the vessel is designed to allow him to run across the surface of the water. Truly, a man walking on water. He said he washed ashore Saturday while attempting to run from the Florida coast to Bermuda. Baluchi said his run is aimed at helping agencies that need funds. My goal is not only to raise money for homeless people, raise money for the Coast Guard, raise money for the police department, raise money for the fire department. They're in public service. They do it for safety. And they help other people, he told WOFL 20 TV. Previously, Baluchi was rescued from a hydro bubble near St. Augustine in 2014, and in 2016 was rescued again in a hydropod off the Jupiter, Florida coast. The Flagler County Sheriff's Office said the U.S. Coast Guard is investigating whether Baluchi's cylinder complies with regulations. Baluchi said he will not be deterred from his project. I'll never give up my dream. They stopped me 4 or 5 times, but I never give up, he said. And a friend went on to explain what he has done to keep himself safe during these floating adventures. Large fireball lights up night sky over Texas and nearby states. Residents of Texas and nearby states captured video of an overnight fireball that glowed bright as it streaked across the sky. The American Meteor Society logged at least 213 reports of a fireball Sunday night, with sightings reported in Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, and Missouri. The fireball, believed to be a large meteor, was caught on video by dashboard cameras and doorbell cameras in Texas. Some witnesses reported hearing a loud booming sound that accompanied the spectacle. Emergency responders in Rockwell, Texas, said there were unconfirmed reports that a portion of the object hit the ground near a rural road. And I'm sure it's teeming with people looking for a piece of that meteor, because they do fetch quite a lot of money. This is your feel-good moment from the Olympics. Coach surprises Argentine fencer with Olympics marriage proposal. Maria Belén Perez Maurice went from the emotional low of losing her lone fencing event at the 2020 Summer Games to the high of being engaged in mere seconds when she accepted an on-air proposal Monday in Chiba, Japan. Hungary's Anna Martin beat the Argentine 15-12 in the women's sabre in the round of 32 at the Makuhari Messe Hall. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. The disappointed Perez Maurice proceeded to step up to the microphone for an interview with Argentine's Tai C reports. One of the show's broadcasters noticed Perez Maurice's coach and boyfriend, Lucas Saucedo, slowly slide behind her as she gave the interview. He held up a piece of paper which read, "Will you marry me, please?" in Spanish. The broadcaster asked Perez Maurice to turn around. tearing up. The fencer screamed when she read the sign. Saucedo then dropped to one knee and popped the question. The couple embraced, and Perez Maurice screamed once more. Then they continued the interview together. Perez Maurice, 35, started to fence at the age of 13. She became the first female Argentine to win a medal in individual sabre at the Pan American Games when she won bronze in 2015 in Toronto. She also qualified for the 2012 and 2016 Summer Games, but did not win a medal. Perez Maurice ranks number 38 in sabre in the International Fencing Federation World Rankings. Saucedo represented Argentina in fencing at the 1999 and 2003 World Championships. Martin went on to beat Uzbekistan's Zeynab Dayabakova in the women's sabre quarterfinal, but lost to Sofia Velikaya of the Russian Olympic Committee in the semifinals Monday in Chiba. France's Manon Brunet then beat Martin in the bronze medal bout. There you have it. Now, our next story is another feel-good story because it shows the lengths that an animal will go to protect their humans. Yorkie protects 10-year-old Toronto girl from an attacking coyote, and the video is very scary. A Toronto's family's tiny Yorkshire Terrier is being hailed a hero after rescuing her 10-year-old owner from an attacking coyote. Lily Kwan 10 said she was walking Macy, her family's 6-year-old Yorkie, in the Scarborough neighborhood when a coyote started to chase them. Lily said she started to run away and had to drop the 10-pound dog's leash because Macy refused to follow. A neighbor's home security camera recorded video as Macy turned to confront the coyote. She's a super brave dog. I love her so much, and I just thought this tiny dog could protect this human being trying to fight off this huge coyote, Lily told CTV News. Macy survived the confrontation and is being treated by a veterinarian for multiple puncture wounds from the coyote's teeth. Lily's family said Macy was transferred to intensive care when one of the wounds became infected and she developed a fever. But she is expected to make a full recovery. The Kwan family is crowdfunding to pay for Macy's veterinary care. That's a good cause, folks, if you got a few extra dollars. Anything will help. A little bitty dog taking on that big coyote. And we're all scared of alligators, right? Police responding to report of loose alligator in condo building. Find gold statue. Police in British Columbia responded Thursday to a report of an alligator loose inside a high-rise condo building, but arrived to find a realistic sculpture. Constable Jason Touchette of the Vancouver Police Department tweeted that officers were dispatched about 7 a.m. Thursday to a condominium building in which a woman reported she was hiding in a stairwell from a loose gator inside the building. Touchette said the officers were relieved to discover the alligator was a realistic fake, a gold-colored sculpture. He said the sculpture, while the wrong color for an alligator, was sufficiently detailed to cause a person to panic. Running up a secluded stairwell, rounding the corner, and suddenly coming face to face with this? Clean up aisle 1 for me, he wrote. Now our next story involves seagulls. And I will tell you, I used to ride the Jamestown ferry across the James River. And it always amazed me, the seagulls that would follow and literally take food out of your hand while you were there. But this is a different kind of story. Girl on Jersey Shore ride collides face first with seagull. A video filmed aboard an amusement park ride on the Jersey Shore captured the moment a 13-year-old girl collided with a seagull. Kylie Holman, 13, was riding the spring shot with friend Georgia Reed, 14, at Moray's Piers in Wildwood, New Jersey, when a seagull hit her face. When I got shut up, then I saw it. It was going the opposite way, and then it came back and hit me right in the face, Holman told WPVI-TV. It felt really light, and it only left like the tiniest scratch. The video, posted to YouTube by Reed's family, shows a seagull temporarily stuck in place, but Holman is able to toss it back into the air. Holman said she was relieved to see the bird appeared uninjured. The girl said she tried to tell Reed what happened, but the other girl was too distracted to hear about her avian encounter. She told me to stop talking because she thought she was going to throw up, Holman said. You hear it in the video. Alana Reed, Georgia's mother, said it was hard to tell what was going on from the ground. We did not know what happened until they got off. We did see feathers falling from the ride, but at first I assumed they were tickets, Alana Reed said. But they were feathers. Alright folks, that is it for today's video. I hope you all have a wonderful day and a blessed day, and I will see you again soon. But in the meantime, practice a little kindness with one another.